is the Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi Satsang, a time to listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Know yourself and be always free and at peace. Welcome. I'm Richard Clarke, hosting this satsang, and I am reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Ramana Maharshi. And let me go then to talk 32, which is what we are commenting from today. The disciple asks, can this physical body be made to disappear into nothingness? And the Maharshi replies, why this question? Can you not find out if you're the body? Then the disciple continues on this line, saying, can we have disappearance from sight like the yogis Vasishta and Vishwamitra? And the Maharshi says, these are only physical matters. Is that the essential object of our interest? Are you not the self? Why trouble about other matters? Take the essence. Reject other learned theories as useless. They who think that physical disappearance counts in freedom are mistaken. No such thing is needed. You are not the body. What does it matter if it disappears in one way or another? There is no great merit in such phenomena. What does superiority or inferiority consist? Achievement of the real alone matters. The loss of the I is the main fact, and not the loss of the body. Identity of the self with the body is the real bondage. Leave off the false notion and perceive intuitively the real. That alone matters. If you melt a gold ornament before testing it to be gold, what matters is how it is melted, whole or in parts, or of what shape the ornament was. All that you're interested in if if it is gold. The dead man sees not his body. It is the survivor that thinks about the manner in which the body is parted from. The realized have no death with or without the body. The realized man is equally aware and sees no difference. To him, the one state is not superior to the other. To an outsider, also the fortunes of a liberated one's body need not be of any concern. Mind your business. Realize the self. After realization, there'll be time to think of what form of death is preferable to you. It is the false identity of the self with the body that causes the idea of preference, etc. Are you the body? Were you aware of it when you were fast asleep last night? No. What is it that exists now and troubles you? It is I. Get rid of it and be happy. Now, Ramana answered questions based on where the questioner stood in their spiritual practice. In this dialogue, a man asks about disappearing bodies. This question is clearly based on the stand of identifying with the body. Otherwise, why would this even matter? Ramana responds, "Why this question? Can you not find out if you are the body?" Instead of dealing with the question, Ramana responds to the assumption of identity as the body that underlies the question. Ramana asks the questioner to investigate and challenge the underlying assumption of identity. Are you the body? If you are this body, then you're a separate individual set off against the world and others. This is the main misidentification for most of us. Are you a body? I saw Nome do this redirection with questions. When asked about this, Nome said, "I try to see the misidentification that the question was based on and then respond to that." I think Ramana does the same thing. The questioner pays no attention to what Ramana said and asks, "Can we have disappearance?" And Ramana starts his response with, "These are only physical matters." Is that the essential object of our interest? Are you not the self? Why trouble about other matters? Ramana again redirects to the core question of, are you a body? With, are you not the self? Why trouble about other matters? Ramana said, at other times, when you know the self, you know all you need to know. In our spiritual search, knowledge from the mind does not help you deepen your practice. The best you can do with the mind is to get it out of the way. Many techniques are taught to do this. One way to do this is to reflect on the teaching until your mind thinks they are reasonable. Then it stops resisting. Then Ramana says, achievement of the real alone matters. The loss of the I is the main fact, not the loss of the body. Identity of the self with the body is the real bondage. Leave off the false notion and perceive intuitively the real. That alone matters. Ramana is more emphatic. The achievement of the real alone matters. The only thing that matters, he says, is achieving the real. What would your practice be like if you really thought this, that your spiritual journey is the most important thing? If you brought practice into all of your daily activities and choices, how would this change your life? Would it become more focused and intense, more happy and peaceful? Elsewhere, Ramana has recommended inquiry with the same intensity as a diver coming up to breathe. They will not stop or hesitate. They won't be distracted by something shiny that passes in front of them. He also tells how to practice. Leave off the false notion that identifies the self with the body. How do you do this? Discrimination is a powerful tool. These are some questions you can use to investigate this within yourself. Is the body constant? Is it always there? Does it change? Does it come and go? Is it born and then die? Is the body the knower? Is the body objective to you or an object of knowledge? Does the body know you or do you know the body? Who is the knower of all that is known? When you really see and know that the body is not the source of consciousness, not the source of existence, then this loosens the hold of the body idea. When you see the constant reality is from within you, not the body, and the source of happiness is from within you, not the body, then you can let go of the body idea. Who are you then? What is your identity without the body and its attributes, like the senses and the feeling of doership? Ramana gives us the path for this. Perceive intuitively the real. We know it from inside, from within. This is not any mental knowledge, but inside you just know. Ramana calls this intuitively. I think language is not very good at describing this non cognitive knowing. Intuitively is a good word. Ramana then tells us that for the realized, there is no difference whether they have a body or not. One is not superior to the other. What freedom! This shows how deep the idea of no difference is. Then Ramana reiterates, it is the false identity of the self with the body that causes the idea of preference. The I am the body idea is what limits us. As long as this is true for us, it will be our reality. Ramana says, get rid of it and be happy. This is the entire purpose of practice. Knowing the self, we are the self. There is no difference between knower, the knowing, and the known. Knowing is being. You are that. Now we'll listen to my teacher, Nome, with a discourse beyond mind, body, and ego.
in the quest to realize absolute being, what you are seeking to know, you are. And the inquiry to know the self consists in the destruction of the falsely assumed individuality, which is abidance as that very absolute being. In worshiping God, the Supreme Lord of the universe, what you worship, you are. And the devotion or worship consists of the dissolution of the falsely supposed separate individuality, leaving the infinite to remain as it perpetually is. Just inquire deeply into your own true nature. Discern how it is not possible, in truth, for you to be a body, or a mind, or an ego entity. How could an objectively perceived, sense-perceived, sporadically occurring thing called the body be you? You who are of the nature of being and consciousness and bliss. How could the attributes of a body be your attributes? Birth, death, active, inactive, and so forth and so on. The connection, the false connection, that seems to tie together yourself of the nature of being, consciousness, bliss with the body is ignorance. If just that much ignorance is given up, abandoned in the light of clear knowledge, what troubles would you have? What veils would there be to cover the innate bliss of the being consciousness that you are? Thinking may be useful for dealing with other thoughts, but of what use can it be in knowing the consciousness, which is the solitary knower of all the thoughts? None of the thoughts know you. You know all of them. How could there possibly be a connection, a binding that connects you to the mind? Free of a body, free of a mind, not defining your very existence in terms of these things. What remains of you? Beyond the body, the mind and the ego, the last being purely imagination. What remains is your true existence, which is what you are always. Cease to misidentify as a body, as a mind, as an individual. There is then no limit, no bondage. There is then no reality apart from the self. There is then nothing else existing at any time. Just oneself, yourself, naturally eternal, innately infinite. Every idea of being bound, every idea of being limited in any way, as something distinct or apart from the absolute reality of being consciousness bliss, Brahman, is merely a case of misidentification, taking yourself to be an I, a mind, a body. Then once having mistaken oneself to be an I, a mind, and a body, trying to figure out what is real, or how to get to the reality, or how to find God, or how to reach the self, as if that self, the reality, or God, were something far away, or apart from you. Dissolve the false definitions of you, and that which you're hoping to find is self-evident as your very existence, as continuous as your very existence. If the blissful truth is what you want, dive inwardly, deep, in this way.
Now we'll take a few minutes and inquire. Quiet yourself. Take a long breath in. Feel your breathing. Make a long exhale. And notice that you exist, and you know that you exist. Now inquire, investigate within yourself. The body changes. Do you change? The body comes and goes. Do you come and go? What is always? Does the body know you, or is it you that knows the body? Who is the unknown knower of all that is known? Who am I? What is the nature of my existence? All right. Now to close with a chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Any questions or comments?
I think for me, the catch with the body is the feelings in it, the sensations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And trying to be the knower of the touch, taste, smell, hear, to know that it helps to disengage
Mm-hmm.
with the body.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest challenge is the one of pain, to disengage and know be the knower of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nome says it's all about identity.
Yeah.
And as long as it's my feelings, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. So I try to think that's the feeling of the body,
Mm-hmm.
the feeling of the hand. The hand is feeling. That's part of the whole phenomenal world. It's not
Mm-hmm.
who I am.
Mm-hmm. But the feeling of the hand is always known.
Yes, it's known.
Otherwise it has no significance or interest to you.
Right. So it's a work in progress.
I think for all of us, I really like this talk because, like many of us, the questioner was just stuck
Yeah.
on the body idea and his questions about the body idea. And I feel like Ramana, as he was responding, was just becoming more emphatic.
Yeah. No wiggle room for the questioner.
That's right. I suspect the next time he came, he still would have the same question.
Probably.
We've known some like that. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today. Namaste and see you next week.
Thank you.
Mm.